Most of us are familiar with the sensation of being adrift, watching as life moves in directions we didn't choose, feeling more like a passenger than an active participant in our own story. When life strikes with an unexpected blow, our biology takes over. We tense up, we resist, and we naturally adopt a defensive posture, wondering why the world seems to be conspiring against our peace of mind. This loop represents what happens when we broadcast the static of fear or guilt. That internal frequency creates a specific resonance that cycles back, pulling more chaos into the center of our lives. We often treat our lives as a series of pre-programmed reactions, as if we are biological machines following a script written by our environment. Yet we possess a capacity that overrides that programming. Free will acts as an intentional interrupt, the ability to look at a circumstance and choose a response that isn't dictated by the past. By utilizing that choice, we move away from being the effect of our circumstances and begin to act as their primary cause. Acknowledging this capacity is the prerequisite for change. Once we recognize we aren't bound to the loop, we can begin to disassemble it. The first move in this process is often the most difficult. You have to stop fighting the storm. When you fight a situation, you provide the very energy that keeps the conflict alive. Cultivating inner stillness is an active refusal to participate in the chaos. When the mind settles like water, the friction that wants to find your day begins to evaporate. In that clarity, the subconscious can finally process the situation. Instead of seeing a threat, you might see a lesson, a necessary pivot invisible while resisting. This clarity is usually blocked by the ego, that part of us obsessively focused on maintaining our status, our pride, and needing to be right. To move past this, we practice dissolving the experiencer. You stop seeing hardship as happening to a me that needs protecting, surrendering that personal stake to a larger flow. Think of it like a letter that can't be delivered because the recipient no longer lives at that address. Without an ego for the karma to latch onto, the negativity simply bounces off and returns to its source. This works because of a fundamental interaction between our internal state and the energy field surrounding us. If our thoughts and emotions carry a specific charge, the environment, which is itself composed of energy, naturally aligns with that charge. The quantum field acts as a reflective surface. It doesn't judge, it simply matches your frequency. Broadcast faith, and the field returns faith. When consistent, this quiet shift manifests in your world as positive events. This also explains why we often repeat the same struggles as our parents. We aren't just inheriting DNA, we are inheriting their habitual broadcasts, the same fears and limitations. But because we control the frequency, we can break those generational cycles. We do this by consciously refusing to project the trauma we inherited, choosing instead to broadcast a different expectation. Changing that signal doesn't just improve your current outlook, it fundamentally alters the path for those who follow you, ensuring they aren't born into the same energetic constraints. To give the field a specific target, we use visualization, a deliberate way to sketch out the reality we want to see reflected. This requires more than a passing thought. You must hold a clear, detailed image of a positive future in your mind, focusing on the specific outcomes that represent your highest potential. You then couple that image with the actual feeling of it being true. You allow your heart to experience the relief and the joy of that success, as if it's happening in this very moment. Finally, you must completely release the how. Trying to control the specific path your vision takes only reintroduces the ego's friction. You provide the vision, you let the universe handle the logistics. This surrender is possible because you are backed by a constant presence of support. There is a vast intelligence within the quantum field that responds to your alignment. When you stop resisting and start trusting, these unseen forces begin to arrange coincidences and opportunities that were previously out of reach. By letting go of the struggle and holding firmly to your vision, you stop being a passenger. You become the conscious source of a life that reflects your true potential.